Abusua me no kase no say you know enye asem ketwa kura on man kronkron Ghana mu ase ne ensem de bebre na ekoson ya beka ya enche kura ana chese video bi ebeto dwa about eya abrante ba ko friend say Raph a no so edi ne dwuma edema chese NDC amanyoko na abusua wa bra video ebeto dwa no ne nyina nchirimu edi nkan ba ne say yes Raph akwa akobobo chese nurse ni bi ewo chese Ridge Hospital ama chese nurse ni ko mu ne ensem bu nyoma hudu bebre na ana ebeto dwa sa abre no wa bra na chese bi mu chim say Raph ekoi for treatment na bro ko dron say de no opese esi treatment no we nya ne sa eno ana chese kutimi share na bufu ma okodi sa dwumadi enye ono nkwan so no koye so one ne boys bi ene koye na mno kese no ensem inchirimu ahodo aba betodwa usua time chuku abra me di video no eba besomo ede ankasa ne si e hospital honum Raph ede ne nsa kan obi ana wanfa ne nsa anka ANS ni bia wo honum ebusua ensem no adoso ye hwe video wi wa abra chese enchirimu ene ensem ahodo aba betodwa ede afasa video ana se ensem ahodo a trend e wo Ghana sisi no na me so wadaruma se uhwe video wi sisi ya na chese ope ma sempen ye ebusua di ntia meka santima sema because sisi in YouTube for ayo monhihye bi se me videos ankasa do mun push mobia enhwebio anytime I have me channel is where videos are my over 3 weeks getting to 1 month no menya views kra endru 50 da maya kwa 2 3 5 na nkofa ba subscribers ekuta mo channel we so me kuta over 6,000 subscribers e wo channel we so nemum no me video YouTube for so mun push mobia enhwebio nto wadaroma se de beye betimi asan so a revival e de aba me so say obe share video e de ama enkofo at least be 5 and as the browser o group bi afatum na nkofo so emeka ebusuan se de beye nyina betimi abiode ama bibia etimi aye kama yenko ne enko he video yi emfambra.
He was told it's not done that. That is not done in Ghana. And he started insulting us. We don't want Ghana to progress. Then he brought out the phone. But initially, I did a pressure dressing for him.
Okay.
In his finger that he said it was bleeding. It had bled. Okay. The blood had dried.
Okay.
So I just had to put a gauze on it so that we reassure him.
Okay.
He wasn't happy about it, so he took off the dressing I did for him.
Okay.
Then I approached him and I told him that I've done a dressing for you, so be patient. We have 2 trauma cases and other cases too are there. We want us to leave them. He got angry and he started yes. So he did this to me. And then when he went out, I don't know where the guys came from. Most of the health workers saw them earlier, so they had flee. I didn't see them. And then they, from my back to my chest, and then they were just...
Did they push you? Were you pushed? What did they do? What did they do to you?
Yes, I was hit. I don't know if it was a fist, a tap. I can't describe the...
But what happened to your hands?
Raphael, I don't know. Raph did this to me. He hit me with the phone with the fist. And I even dodged a couple of the fists. And they hit me
all over.
But right now I have a dislocation on my shoulder. And some headaches and body pain.
All right, thank you very much.
And to add up, he was telling us he will follow us to our homes and beat us. And if take one life and...
Oh, he will take one life. Actually said that?
Yes.
Okay. But we are happy to hear that.
So, this is the nurse. What happened was, on the narration, it just said, Raph ba no na ade twa ne nsa e no no krabo a Raph de ade chichire so e na Raph yi to twene say ade ntina omon bua ne ntem one obi so aba ono so ehia help na their approach no enti Raph bufu no ka je say Raph say onya abotre e na Raph say onya abotre na Raph pia bontene enti Raph ba no de ne nanfofo ba na omo started so omo bono inti omo bu ni shoulder Raph de nsa e bo ni sema nsa we mu obu e med bandage akekere e ma nsa ba ko no shoulder na dislocate inti e hya homam e ma ba ko bi onim se e tap Brunika said tap her. We defend a tap. Someone tapped you. And I said a fist punch. Also onim, but the other man you know him say a tap and I say a fist on one shut down. In the situation ye, Omaba Bruni ye. Now it's interesting. As somebody see, you know, the minister heard it. Minister Netia Samono. He quickly, in fact, let me play the minister's own statement to you. I mean, what minister's statement, Joe?
On Monday morning, I sent a delegation to Ridge Hospital to ascertain the situation. When the delegation came up, upon debriefing, I realized that I had to follow up. And ladies and gentlemen, let me state this, that I have the health workers of this country at heart. And so any attempt by any individual or any group of people to try to incite the health professionals against government, pretending he cares more than us, is unfortunate. And we must stop that. It's an avoidable tension we must avoid. It doesn't help the sector. If indeed you are a practicing health professional in the sector, it doesn't help the sector. And so, when the delegation came back, I had to follow up. I was in a company with the Deputy Director General and other directors of the ministry. We joined the medical superintendent at the Ridge Hospital, and I visited the victims. After going around, we had a closed-door meeting to discuss the issues, not insults. One, how to look at beefing on the internal security, staffing issues. So after the closed-door meeting, I came out to address the press to categorically condemn the physical attack. And that is the most important aspect.
So, Minister Asimo Kenyan say, "Assembly see no, Ejuada, otu nipa ote no because minister no office no any Ridge and what on a normal day the minister is not supposed to go there. And you know, no. The management of the hospital are supposed to take care of this. And then if they have to write a report to their superiors, they write it. And if it has to go up to get to whoever has to take the necessary action, it is not the job of the minister. But approximation, baby, an office no one hospital no one. Emu etia into otia asem no otin infremem no say no otu nipa se monko ho na monko assess situation na mobema me report. It is not even my duty to go there because somebody is being paid to make sure say this hospital is run efficiently. Now delegation you know, they came to tell the minister say this is what we went to find, and the minister said I want to go there myself and find out what exactly is going on. I want to see it with my naked eye. It's minister no ekoye onante ko hospital, Ridge Hospital. And remember, minister because I say on the deputy director of the hospital no kan and a medical superintendent ne kan. That means ministers no koye no na sa nurse no na oho. Remember, sansem we nyina asi no na ye won kofo a ye hospital na show monsa, they have to make sure the right things are done. Ridge Hospital almost security. Yes or no? Yes. Ridge Hospital almost a management on standby in case there's an emergency. Yes or no? Yes. Ridge Hospital, your senior doctors or when even there is some kind of confrontation between junior nurses, senior nurses or whatever, they can step in, directors within. Yes. So the question here is, if anything like that happens, now Minister Kwenyiwa, report to Benny Troy, who was in charge of that. Now, if this guy goes to a Ridge Hospital, who is the first person he's supposed to see? Or say, or a secretary of just an association. An association that is not backed by any federal law. It's just a mere association. It is a Also, a doctor wako school onim nyansa no. Owura hospital what first no. Who did he consult? Who did he talk to? What report did he read? For him to come to that conclusion, to go sit on radio to start insulting the minister. Remember, the minister, so Papa or a doctor. I'm sorry, team. I got the old picture. Papa was a doctor. Also, TSS said the employer is the minister in charge of that sector. So his employer is Honorable Akando. I don't know whether he's a practicing lawyer, a doctor or not, but also a doctor or practitioner. Now say the Ministry of Health asia. It means to say this guy, his boss or the employer is the Minister of Health. Now, some say crazy. What will make you the employee go on radio and speak this way? Nano asem on radio.
The fact that the whole thing came on social media, the young man was throwing his weight about in the hospital, which as a sector minister, you should know that that is not how things must be done at the hospital. The guy should have been arrested there and then. And I told you that the minister is always followed by a police officer. And therefore, if we have the wherewithal, if we think that things ought to be done rightly and properly, the guy should have been apprehended there and then. And don't forget that there's a police post just by the mortuary of Rich Hospital. They could have called for reinforcement. If you think that the duty of the police officer is just to protect the minister, that's fine. But while they were interacting with the guy, they could have called the police to come and apprehend him. How many minutes will it take for some police officer to even run from the mortuary of Rich Hospital to where they were standing?
Does the GRNMA have issues with the health minister?
We cannot have issues with our sector minister, but we think that we are not being treated fairly as nurses and midwives in Ghana. And you know that we have a lot of issues.
Under his tenure?
Not only, we have had a myriad of issues, but if you declare a strike action and a minister can decide that you go for a retired nurses and midwives to come and work and try to instigate groups that are within your fraternity that are not aligned with you to step in and all that. It tells you clearly that this is not somebody who is prepared to work with you.
So it's a lot of pent-up emotions, right? Because it looks like you're carrying. Some.
Our action is not premised on any emotive.
Yeah. So as I was saying,
that we have issues at hand that ought to be discussed,
okay,
or issues at hand that ought to be resolved. If somebody goes to beat up a nurse, what is emotion about it?
So the question I was asking,
that emotion caused against me this morning.
Well,
I think that what has happened is very wrong. Everywhere, meaning Ghanaians must condemn it.
So I'm asking again, because I asked you whether you have any issues with the minister, considering your tone, and then you mentioned that I asked you whether it's under his tenure, because you talked about nurses not being treated fairly, and then I asked whether it's under his tenure, and you mentioned that you have issues with regard to your conditions of service, and he had said that he was going to be called in retired nurses to step in while they try and resolve the matter, and you have issues with that. You believe that some of your conditions were not entirely resolved, but I thought you had made some progress where there was an agreement to give you some portion of that of those conditions, and then the subsequent ones will also be included in the 2026 budget. Or you didn't make progress. That's the reason you called off your strike, no?
Absolutely, but we're thinking that even in August, some of the items could feature. I hope you heard what the Minister of Finance sat on Joy FM, PM Express to
I don't know. I don't know what he said.
You may not listen. You might have not have listened to it. The minister said he wasn't briefed by the sector minister about the concerns of nurses and midwives. That should clearly tell you that if what he said is anything to go by, somebody somewhere is refusing to advocate for the well-being of the ordinary Ghanaian.
So, Oko radio so one or cabro for bako any ebusan say oh na assembly see no na omo eka for say oh na minister no onam ho no some police need n'echi ade na minister no call duru ho na the police need di n'echi ade wa ma police ni no anche Raph mo e police station ho we oyakwasea we Jimmy onim nyan